And one of my biggest disappointments is the unfulfilled potential of Lloyd Banks and Tony Yayo of G-Unit. I always felt that if I had done a better job teaching Banks and Yayo how to evolve and change their habits, they each would be in better places right now. Instead, they both stayed stuck in their mindset, and as a result, the success they desired has eluded them. Tony Yayo's issues were a little different. Like Banks, Yayo was from my neighborhood, but unlike Banks, he didn't stay on his stoop. He was very much in the street and running into as much action as he could. Yayo was wild from the day I met him. In our world, it was a temperament that served him well. He was liable to do anything at any time, and people gave him a wide berth because of it. At the time, I aided Yayo in being so wild. As a crew, we needed that aggressive and unpredictable energy. Even after we first started experiencing success, we were still living that lifestyle. We didn't see any reason to change. That meant we were going to be very aggressive in taking what we felt was ours. If someone disrespected us or got in our way, our response was to get them out of our way. We had always done what we wanted, how we wanted, when we wanted. That's the attitude that had made us hot. Why did that have to change? Transitioning from a street lifestyle to a more public persona was going to require a new mindset. Yayo didn't seem to register that. If I got into a disagreement with another artist, Yayo's reaction was, let's just bang him, because that would have been his response back in the neighborhood. If we got $100,000 for a series of club appearances, Yayo wasn't thinking about putting it in the bank. His first thought would be, hey, this could get us 3.5 kilos of cocaine. Let's flip those and we'll be sitting on some real money. Time and time again, I'd have to tell him, Yayo, we can't do that. Nothing else is going to work if we're just running around doing that dumb shit. We're going to be out of here just as fast as we got in here. In Yayo's mind, I was being too uptight. We had always done what we wanted, how we wanted, when we wanted. That's the attitude that had made us hot. Why did that have to change? In retrospect, a large part of the problem was the success initially came very easily to Yayo. He was locked up when Get Rich or Die Trying first broke. As soon as he got out of jail, I put him on stage. There was no transition period. He didn't have to spend time as an unknown MC, slowly getting his feet wet, learning how to interact with industry folks and getting the feel of what it was like to be around corporate people. Instead, I dropped him directly into the national spotlight and put a lot of money in his hand at the same time. I should have realized that it was not the ideal circumstance in which to suddenly ask him to change habits that had been developed over a lifetime. If anything, I should have known those habits would establish an even tighter grip on him. I learned that when things are moving very fast and you're constantly being put in new situations and environments, most people tend to lean back into their old habits, not develop new ones. After years of begging, cajoling, and threatening them to start doing things differently, I had to accept that Yayo and Banks were not capable of doing much more than what they were used to. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Those guys had been standing by the well for years and were still gonna die of thirst. It was extremely disappointing, but I had to accept that many of their dominant character traits, recklessness, resentment, and a lack of discipline were always going to impede their progress. It was just who they were. It might not sound like it, but I worked very hard to ensure their success. I would have loved for Yayo to become the next 50 Cent. If Yayo had been able to capitalize on his opportunities, it would have opened so many doors and empowered me to move even faster. I could have transitioned to focusing on other opportunities earlier. Instead, I ended up having to be 50 Cent a lot longer than I ever intended.
But you gotta understand, working for somebody like 50, it's a lot of pressure. Because that man don't know what laziness is. All he do is eat, sleep, shit, business. That's it. So it's like, if you don't have that mentality around him, he's gonna look at you as you're lazy. So Banks learned everything from 50. I learned everything from 50. You gotta work. You know, the shows we doing 2 hours, get on the jet, go ahead, go to the next country. Yo, we gotta be on point, never late. We go to the venue before him because it's the work ethic.
Oh shit, grab him! Yo, bro, no, for real.